Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin Bangin with Mikey, episode 90. And as you guys know, the Ravens are on TV, so this is my squad every single Sunday without fail. Thank God the Sunday ticket. Because if that not, I would have to go to the bar and watch my team play instead of being at the crib. I'm gonna keep this short. I am working on like life album. I did finish a single for Scorpio and Scorpio track. I did finish that. Um, I'm in the process of editing and mastering all my own shit. And it's taking me a lot longer because I'm new at this. I'm like I can put together a beat in 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. But when it comes to mixing and mastering and all that fine tuned shit, I'm learning as I go. But the good thing about this process is that um, I plan to make this a career, professionally a career. And this is what I want to do. Little backstory, man. When I was in high school, going into high school, my dad had me read not a autobiography of Quincy Jones, but it was just it was a book, maybe like 50, 60 pages, real short. So it took me like maybe probably about 45 minutes to read it. And basically it talked about how Quincy Jones did what he wanted to do no matter what other people told him. And my dad, he was very intuitive in doing that. He was very intuitive in putting ideas in my head. When it came to basically being your own man and doing what you need to do to get to survive. And it wasn't just because we're black men. It was just because that's the way the world works. And so with that being said, I always was in love with music, man. It 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 started at a young age. Because believe it or not, all my setup, which is basically all digital. Back in the day, we had a miniature recording studio in our house, and we had mics, turntables, amplifiers, you know, um, vinyl records. Cause I was born in the '80s, and there was no such thing as CDs and what and then as the millennium crept up, everything became digital. I remember my first MP3 player. It was this I don't even know what it was called. It was this little MP3 player about yay big, but it had a computer slot where you could put in a chip to put in more memory to hold more songs. And then my second MP3 player it was kind of cool. It was a watch. It was a watch, but you could only listen to the music on the watch, through these headphones. But the watch itself was like a regular wristwatch, right? And then like the MP3 part was actually this huge thing in the middle, and they had this special connection headphones where you had to hook it up to the watch, and you could listen to the music, through your watch, through the headphones. I probably still have it somewhere in my house. I just have to look for it. But yeah, I was always around technology and music. And when I got to be in college, or when I was graduating high school going to college, I bought my first music program from Comp USA. That's how old, some of the shit I have. And then and that was more like a mixing and mastering type of program. And then I graduated from that to I think it was EJ Hip Hop 6, and it was that. And then I graduated from that to what I use now currently, which is FL Studios. FL Studios, it's a great Dodge. I actually downloaded Ableton too, so I gotta mess around with that and I'm just trying to figure that out. But there's so many different ways to create music and create content, through FL Studios and through a Dodge, and it's like Cause before, what I would do too, I would take my old vinyl records and I would isolate the break beats. And then one of my partners who makes music too, he told me like, "Yo, you ever heard about Splice?" And I'm thinking, shit, did you cut with, right? I'm like, Splice, what are you talking about? He was, yeah, Splice, man. So I checked that out, and basically, I don't know if you guys know this, but Splice is a sample, you know, website where you pay a subscription and you get X amount of credits per month, and it's a great website, man. I haven't used any of my plugins or any recently just because I just run everything on Splice. And Splice is great. Speaking of plugins, I have a bunch of different plugins that I got for free. Ironically, I think it was through XNL Audio. They had this special where they had a $400 plugin, and all you had to do was put your email in, and like 2 weeks later, that you'll get your plugin for free. I didn't believe it, but at first I was like, man, free? What the hell? Why the hell would you give away a $400, plugin for free? And I figured out, fuck it, why not? You know what I mean? Just put your email in. What's the worst that can happen, right? And literally, like on the day, 2 weeks later, I got an email saying, "Oh yeah, Mr. Nelson, with you, your so and so plugin is ready." And I had completely forgot about it. And let's just say it's worth $400. It's a great plugin. It's it's orchestra plugins, and so you have different sections, and you can mix them, and you can combine the two, or you can do it separately too. When I got that plugin, I had actually figured out too where on FL Studios where you could set up your keyboard, you know, or you can even set up your Dodge, or your MIDI board, and you can play the major and minor keys together by playing one key. So that helps you create chord progressions because it's anybody who produces music or anything like that, it's like we all know how difficult chord progressions can be in the beginning. So yeah, music, man, it's always been a part of my life. It's never not gonna be a part of my life, and it is something that I love to do. I've been doing this shit since high school. I remember back in the day where I would record. I remember I recorded my very first couple of tracks. I had these stock speakers, computer speakers. I had this stock amplifier, and I had this digital tape recorder, and I laid down the track, and I knew it wasn't the best work, because quality wise it just wasn't there. But the lyricism, everything else was there too. So I just stuck with it, I stuck with that, stuck with it. And the people that I know, in terms of music, um, we talk about you know, getting our music into movies and this and that, because it's like, bro, all you need is one song. You get one song in a movie, you set for life. Perfect example is Jack Johnson. Guy did one song for Curious George the movie, and he's a millionaire. So and yeah, man. So at the end of the day, music has always been a part of my life. It's not gonna be not a part of my life. When I have kids, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna introduce them to all kinds of things, whether it's sports, music, whatever it is. I'm gonna just make sure that they're exposed to a lot of things. Um, yeah. So, excuse me. I'm gonna slurp my coffee. Um. So with that being said, yeah, Life album, it's coming. It's taking forever. I know, guys. I'm sorry. I got a partner of mine who's always telling me like, "Yo, like, drop your shit, hurry up," But he doesn't realize, the process that it takes. It's like it's not like I got a whole team behind me, bro. It's literally just me. you know. And I didn't realize with that due date that I put on that project is that I just couldn't meet it because I just didn't have there wasn't enough people around me to help me with it. You know, um, I work a full-time job, so does my partner. So we was doing shit on the weekends. We were just trying to get this thing pushed out, and it was just too much work. You know, way too much work for two people. You know, and that's why when you have an artist and who has a contract with a record label, they have a production team. They got people who do exactly just one particular thing, and it's that. And so, but the good thing about being independent is that, nigga, I own everything. I own my masters, I own my recordings, I own all that shit. So, excuse me. In a way, too, that's the one thing Nipsey taught me too, man. Nipsey said, "You own your masters, you own everything." And I didn't know this, but how he set it up is like every time we stream his music, his family, his baby gets to eat. You know, so every time we, shit, excuse me, every time that we stream his music, his babies get a cut. So I just wish, that he would have been around to see the impact that he created, that he made on people. Because brother was an impact, man. He definitely was a positive force. But anyway, guys, Life album is coming. Like I said, I know I'm taking forever. As you guys can see, I got my program out behind me. So we're gonna get it moving. Yeah, I hope y'all keeping it full peace, private player, positive pushing. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Ghost. And like I said, remember your worth.